that working for traffic.
Oh my god. Look at it all. I don't know if I can take much more. This is devastating.
And on the 16th of September last year, we had a massive fire here. I'm tired. I'm always tired.
I know.
Now, this is to do with our fire that was here, that was caused by a model aircraft on the 16th of September last year, and we still, into our 9th month, still have not been paid any money to compensate us. The day of the fire was tough, but it was nothing compared to what we've been through. We were made to move back home in January because the insurances wouldn't pay for our accommodation, which was just at a pub.
Okay.
We just stick to the MAA's insurance. They caused the fire, they can pay for it. Yep. So we're back home, but because when we were fighting the fire with the poly tanks, as they melted, the fiberglass tanks melted, the fiberglass and the resin has gone through all the plumbing in the house, so we have no water to the house at all, no hot water to the house, can't live in the house, we're actually living on the veranda. And there's all soot and smoke in my house, but the insurance will not give me any money to clean the house or remove the insulation. We cannot use the water that comes off the roof because it's covered in soot. And then we have the MAAA. Every time we talk to them or any of their members, they just keep saying it's in the hands of the insurance. But back in January we got a letter from a soliciting firm saying they were representing the MAAA. So we're going around in ever-increasing circles and they're hoping that we're going to disappear, which we're not. So we just need a fighting fund so we can fight these mongrels and stay afloat long enough to win, basically. So that's sort of a bit of an issue. The best way to see what we've been through and what's happened is through videos which we've taken throughout the month. And their lives haven't changed at all. The people that caused this fire have not come over, have not rung us, have not checked on us in any way, shape or form to check how we are going. And at least every weekend they are flying those planes and all I want to do is shoot them out of the sky. Make me very angry and very sad because they just don't care. I hate standing on the back deck because when you look out at the back deck now, all you see is this big pile of tin that used to be my hay barn and used to be a little cottage, and you can't even see it now because the grass has grown up.
Didn't it used to be the tractor as well?
Oh, there's tractors and a whole lot of equestrian stuff and panels and bales of hay. I have no hay for any of my animals. So yes, it's just devastating. Oh, they all burnt. You look at the videos, the hay barn, it's gone, man. There's nothing left.
And that's the shed that was full of a few years worth of hay. For how big it was. It's just very small now. That's the house. Or was the house. Well, it was the old house, but we were hoping to renovate it.
And the fencing, we've got 8.5 kilometres of fencing. We've lost external fences, and apparently our cattle are just supposed to magically know where our boundary is and just stay in our own property. But no, they don't. And we've spent hours and hours and hours fixing fencing, buying star pickets that we can't afford to buy, to fix fencing that they should have paid for. Or at least maybe someone from the club could have come over and helped us do it. There's a novel thought. But they're too busy flying those bloody planes, having a good time. Oh, sausage sizzle. Camping over there and flying more bloody planes. This is one of my holding yards in the cattle yards. It's all burnt out. Can't do anything here. This is the external wall of my yards. As you can see, I have one post down, not a hope of keeping cattle in here. And then if we walk around here, this is my holding pen. So you push them in here and then you redirect them back up the race and the crush. As you can see, I have no wall because it's burnt out all the posts. It's just hanging there. Wouldn't hold anybody. So I can't sell any cattle. Oh, and here comes our poor stallion. This is the old dairy off the cattle yards, all burnt out, and all the rafters. You can see the tin up there's coming off and all the tin on the roof's ruined. This is Tash driving the cattle away so I can fix the fence. More wasted time doing something we don't really need to be doing. Here we go, trying to stop more cattle getting to another place on the farm that's been burnt. See the post? Burnt out. See, burnt. Had to drive a star picket in all on my own, which is why it's so short. Okay. You can see this fence post is broken and burnt at the bottom from the fire, and the wire is lying on the ground there, and the cattle are just going through because all the fence is broken now. Another fence I'm going to have to fix. This fence post here, I'll show you what happens. Okay, you can see that it's burnt at the bottom. So it's burnt, and see how it just wiggles back and forwards, because it's not actually in the ground anymore, it's all burnt. So that's what we've been fixing, and completely burnt out ones. So yes, we're really angry that they have just done nothing. Absolutely nothing from the club members.
And no repercussions.
No, nothing for them. Their life just goes on. Meanwhile, mine's going down the toilet.
All of ours.
Yeah. Yes, so I would actually like not to have asthma because I've had it since the day of the fire and I'm sick every day.
As well.
Every single day.
No coughing.
I just cough and I have asthma.
And you've got to use your...
I use the nebulizer so much. I'm up to my 3rd or 4th repeat script since the fire.
And how often are they supposed to last for?
Well, they've lasted. Some of them have lasted me 6 months on
one thing, and you've had 3 in 9 months.
6 months, 8 months.
Which is it?
9 months.
Because you said 9 months at the beginning.
9 months. We're going into our 9th month. Yes. And I owe people money because people have been so kind.
Places.
I owe people money that I can't pay until I get my insurance money. There's been some really nice people around, so that's been really good. Oh, and I'd like to thank everybody who's been so helpful, and not thank the people who caused the fire. The more I think about them, the more I wish they would just drop off the end of the earth. Yes, even a sorry, because they can't deny liability. They've already completed a report and they've sent it to CASA. CASA is the Civil Aviation Safety Authority, which controls all model aircraft in Australia. And when they have an incident like ours, they have to complete a report. And in the report, they've actually stated that they caused the fire because of the plane. They've described the plane, they described everyone who was involved with the incident. However, they have failed to even ask me how much damage was caused, and their report is way below the damage that has been caused to this property and our neighbours' property. 3 other neighbours were affected as well. It's not just us. And not one of those neighbours has also received any help or anything from this club. Nothing. Oh, okay. Well, if our neighbour, if they hadn't come and told us that there was a fire in our bottom paddock, we would all be dead. Because nobody from the plane club called us. And when we called 000, we asked if anyone had reported the fire, and they said no. And by the time we called them, the fire was at the house. So we were already fighting the fire at the house, and nobody had called 000.
Because we were in it.
That's right. So, yeah. just lucky that we were home because Katie was asleep in her bed because she's so sick, and Natasha was, I think, on the computer at the time, but it was going 10 feet a second, so there was absolutely no way we could have beaten it at all. And if the fireys hadn't turned up when they did, we would have lost the house as well. I don't want to talk anymore.
Because I didn't have it recorded.
Well, I can't talk for very long because I just cough and cough and cough because I got asthma and chest infection at the moment. Because I have a tarp as a wall and it's cold. And it's really cold. So that's probably all from me. So bye for now.